Hey, y'all. Over the past few weeks, I've been at conferences, having conversations with people, sharing what it is that we're building with Palm, trying to get that one liner, the perfect set of words to describe it, using certain buzzwords or whatnot. But I wanted to come on here and really just unpack what it is that we're building. What are we building? I could say we're building an AI powered career growth platform. I could say we're building a tool that's going to help professionals have agency, clarity, confidence, and ease in their career journeys. I could say we're building a tool that is going to empower and help companies engage their employees and retain their employees. I could say this is a tool that's at the intersection of performance management and career development, or performance management and learning and development. I could say all those things because those things are true. But I really just want to unpack what it is that we're doing, because beyond the buzzwords, what we're really trying to do is put some of the control, some of the agency into the hands of professionals. What does that actually mean? Again, more buzzwords. It means bringing past performance, where you are today, and where you want to go in the future, all into one place. I'll go deeper. It really means we started this with, I wanted to understand, in the same way that athletes watch game film, is there a way that I could pull insights from past performance? Is there a way to say, hey, I'm looking back at my past performance reviews from the Air Force, I'm looking at my past performance reviews from my time in real estate finance. If I had this tool in real time, could I have fed this information into this tool and then produced really practical next steps to help me to get from where I am to where I want to go? And the cool thing is, we have been able to do that. And it's been really cool to start with that question. I remember, early part of last year, I was talking to one of the Berkeley entrepreneur, one of the professionals who works at Berkeley in the entrepreneurship space. And he asked me that question. He was like, well, can you actually pull insights from past performance? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to try it. So we checked the box there. So you can look back, you can pull all your past performance into the system and see if there are trends, see if there are insights that you can gain, hard skills, transferable skills, areas of growth, harsh truths. I'll get to the harsh truths maybe in this video, maybe in another one. So we have looking back. Now, what does it look like to get a sense of where you are today in real time, and then look ahead and then map backwards? Because Palm could be your career GPS. It can be your career GPS. Again, buzzwords for sure, but like a GPS has to know where you are today and then has to get a sense of where you want to go in the future. And then the GPS does the work. And it offers you different routes. It offers you next steps. I traveled between the Bay Area from Oakland to Sacramento because that's where my family is. Like, I traveled between there, a few times a year. And every single time I put my GPS on, not because I don't know how to get to my parents' house, but because I want to understand, is there traffic? Are there things that I should be aware of as I'm traveling on this route? And so in that same way, can Palm be that for your career? I believe yes. But it requires you to take some time to understand where it is that you want to go in your career. Even if you have just like broad, maybe it's this, then we'll give you those next steps. And if you have very clear, hey, I know exactly what I want to do, put that in and we can give you even more refined next steps. And then in terms of where you are today, we have a feedback function. There's two pieces of this that I personally love. The whole thing I love, but there are two pieces that I love because it's all tied together. The stuff that I do at LeadComm Gym, the stuff that we're building with Palm, it's all tied together. It's helping people gain an accurate self-perception and then helping them steward their gifts for the good of others. Accurate self-perception. So looking at past performance, understanding where you are. So the two features that I really do love, the feedback function and the achievement tracker. Some people will call it a brag book. The feedback function is with the push of a button, you can send a feedback request to people, to peers, to managers, to people outside of work, but maybe you volunteer and so you want to get feedback from people in that organization. But with the push of a button, you're able to send this out and get it back to this platform where it lives. Instead of having a bunch of different things in a bunch of different areas, you have it all in one place. Again, with your past performance, you get to bring in feedback into the platform and then leverage that feedback to grow. The other feature, achievements. The idea of being able to capture what you're doing in real time is so important to be able to articulate your value to the company or the team that you're on. When I was in real estate, one of our senior leaders, Ashley, we would talk, and I remember early on when he joined the team, we were talking and he was mentoring me, and he said, hey, one of the things that I do at the end of every single week, I send an email to my boss, who at the time was like my boss's boss's boss, but he was like, I send an email to him and I let him know what I've done for the week. And it's a way for me to, one, track what I've been doing and be mindful of it, but also two, communicate the value that I'm bringing to the company. And I just loved this idea of being able to, all in the same place, be able to bring to make it easier for people to track their achievements, so that when it's time for pay, when it's time for a pay increase, when it's time for a promotion, when it's time for an annual review, if your company still does that, like, you're able to articulate your value. You're able to position yourself so that you can maximize your earning potential, maximize whatever the opportunity is that you have. And you can communicate you can manage up. This is leadership as well. You're communicating to your leader. You're not waiting for them to come to you and say, hey, what have you been doing? You're communicating. And what Ashley told me, he was like, I do this until they tell me to stop. Until they tell me, hey, I got it. You're doing great work. Cool. You don't have to send me these emails anymore. And I love this idea of positioning yourself to take the initiative, to share it so that the manager always knows, so that your leadership always knows what it is that you're doing. And I really do believe that like him building that muscle, it's also self-advocacy. Let's call it what it is, because some people will do the work but not share what they're doing. And that's part of leadership. It's making sure people are aware of the value that of what it is that's happening. It's communication. So all those things, achievement tracking, feedback, goal setting, pulling insights from past performance, all that is in one place. So that is for an individual. Now, for the business side, this has been fun as well, because it is those buzzwords. It is engagement, retention, performance, and culture. Because if you're a founder, if you have a business, then what kind of culture are you building? Are you building one where feedback flows freely? Are you building one where people actually are empowered to own their careers, own their growth, and can take initiative and can feel supported? Or do people get to a point where they're like, I don't know where I stand here, or I don't feel like I'm growing, so I'm going to leave? We started with building a product that is valuable to the individual, because if it's valuable for the individual, then people at organizations, people are people. So people will talk about the thing that they're using that's valuable. And even when somebody sends a feedback request, it's like, hey, David is using Palm to grow in his career. Will you please fill out this feedback on how David is leading people, or how David is driving results? The crazy part about some of this stuff is that's a 360 review built into the platform. Like, that can be a 360 review built into the platform. There are companies that charge hundreds of dollars for that. Oh my gosh. There are companies that there are placement companies that will pull your past performance reviews, analyze it, see where your gaps are. There are companies that do this and spend money, and then individuals spend money on that. We're bringing it all into one platform. I coach people in both leadership and careers. It's fascinating because as a career coach, I know how much I charge. And so how we're positioning this product, I'll just be real. How we're positioning this product is, okay, what does it cost for an hour with a career coach? I know how much I charge. Okay, I'll just say it right now. Right now, it's between $200 and $300 an hour. So for an hour, you get me for $200 to $300. Now, do I think the work that we do in those 200 that hour is worth more? Absolutely, but that's what I charge. So if we can position this to say, hey, not everybody either knows about career coaching, understands its value, or has access to it. Cool. So instead of paying $250 for a single hour, what if you paid $250 for a year of this tool that gets you 70 to 80% of what a career coach would do? Yes, I have secret sauce that goes into my own personal coaching. But like, if you could have this in your pocket, if you could have your career in the palm of your hand, that's why the name is Palm. It's like putting your career in the palm of your hand. It's about oh my gosh. That's why even the name of the website, like the URL that I chose, is very intentional. ownyourgrowth.ai. I wanted from the very beginning of your experience with this platform for you to understand our values, for you to understand what it is that we're trying to get across. And that is, we want you to own your growth. We want individuals to own their growth, because whether we're talking B2C or B2B, if we start with, hey, we want you to own your growth, then we're telling the business we want individual employees to own their growth. And again, an empowered professional is an engaged professional. An engaged professional is a productive professional. A productive professional is a profitable professional. So like, the through line from agency to performance to to profitability. And yeah, I'm getting really excited. And I'm not even gonna cut this. I'm just gonna post it as it is, because I really want you to hear the heart behind Palm, what we're building, why we're building it. I can throw the stats at you. 69% of US employees are disengaged. 69%. And that includes managers. Managers are inundated with tasks in addition to leading teams. And maybe they got to that people leader position because they were great individual contributors. But if they haven't gotten trained to be a manager, then their team is struggling because of their inabilities. And that's not to put down any managers. It's just to say, doctors, you wouldn't expect to go to a doctor that didn't get trained. You wouldn't expect to go to go to a school and get taught by somebody that wasn't trained. You hear what I hope you're understanding what I'm getting at. It's like, we can't expect managers we expect managers to go from individual contributions to leading people without giving them the training they need. That's the other work that I do at LeadCom Gym. But in the absence of that in a company, we've got to give some agency to the individual. We've got to empower the individual. And one more thing. 70% of your experience at work is impacted by your manager. That's not me that's not me just pulling a random fact. Go to Gallup, Google Gallup employee engagement, and you'll see all the stats. 70% of a person's level of engagement, their interaction at work, is shaped by their manager. So if you have a manager that is ineffective, that impacts you. And I've seen it in real time. I've seen it recently. I've seen it for myself. All that to say, this tool is meant to help you own your growth. This tool is meant to help you have agency in your career journey. And we're not just saying that for words. I took this time to unpack the different pieces of the platform, like as it stands today, knowing that it's only going to get better. But really, look, some people don't care. Some people are going to continue to drift. Some people are going to be like, I don't really, it is what it is. Work is what it is. That's their choice. But for people who are like, I wish there was just something, I wish this isn't working well, or I wish I had a little bit more agency or control over my future, And I'm telling you that with this app, you can have that agency, you can have that control, you can have that intentionality so that you're not drifting. And if you're wondering why I keep saying drifting, check out the Leader Fitness podcast, because I unpack the book Outwitting the Devil, where Napoleon Hill, yes, the author of Think and Grow Rich, he wrote another book called Outwitting the Devil. I'm going on a tangent now, but he wrote this book. It wasn't released for 70 years because of the nature of the book. And what I mean by that is he talks about, he has, like, the book is set up as a conversation with him and the devil, and he's trying to unpack how the devil stops people from using their gifts. And so he talks about this idea of drifting and having somebody drift, meaning they're aimless, they're not intentional with their actions. Man, reading that book really got me in this headspace of how do you prevent drifting. And so to tie it back through, Palm is your career GPS. It will prevent you from drifting. Yes, it will take effort to set your goal, to be honest with where you are in your career journey, to pull in your past performance reviews if you have them. Yeah, it takes that effort, but it makes it easier because we then map out your next steps, and it's flexible enough. So long as you're honest about where you are and where you want to go, it's going to fill in the gaps. It's going to help you set those micro goals to get you to the goal those steps that it's going to take to get you to your goal. That's it. I just wanted to share my heart on this because I was like, it's been swirling in my mind, and I've been having all these different conversations and hearing additional pieces from other people, but I wanted to make sure that you're hearing directly from me. Yes, I'm the CEO of Palm. Yes, we're growing the team. Yes, we are positioning ourselves for launch next month. And I really do believe that this product, this tool will serve you well if you choose to use it. I'll set up another video to talk about like what I think is going to like really do it. And I think it's real quick. I think it's onboarding, answering the questionnaire, setting your first goal. And then I think it's sending out 2 feedback requests. If you can send out 2 feedback requests within the first, call it 3 to 5 days, that's going to be it. And all you have to do is put in somebody's email address and push a button, like choose what kind of feedback you're looking for and push a button. Man, I am so excited because we're getting close and it's getting real. Like we have the tool. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Gandhi. Shout out to Gandhi for helping build. There's a whole story behind the process and what it's been to get it to right now where it is. But man, it's great to have a partner in crime, a partner in this journey. And so I'll end with, if you want to own your growth, go to ownyourgrowth.ai, sign up for the wait list, and like truly take the step to owning your growth and being in position. I hope now that you've watched this video, you have an understanding of what we mean and why I'm saying own your growth, why it's called Palm. With that, thank you for watching the video. I know it's longer. I don't even know how many minutes it is, but appreciate you sticking around. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly here or David at ownyourgrowth.ai. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.